I think we should go.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
A year.
if it's 5 after, we should.
Okay.
Foster children that have been separated from their siblings might not even know they exist.
Yeah.
So it's a way for them to meet each other.
Yeah.
So what we'll plan on doing is a counterclockwise loop to the site. Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
That way?
Yeah, we're gonna go right up this trail.
Okay.
Yeah, in just a moment, John will do an official opening
Okay.
to start the video. And
Probably the first town I've been to where you record the sidewalk. Completely fine.
yes, bud. Try to run that camera.
This is my best. This is my best committee to tape.
The only other one that the sidewalk was taped was I did the Edge at Berwick, which is a big development in Berwick, Maine, and there was a documentary being made about that.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Good stuff.
Those are dangerous.
Well, it's a complete redevelopment of their entire downtown. It's a really significant project.
Yeah.
People are really excited about that, I think.
There we go. There we go.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The vice chair.
Oh,
Run the
Yeah.
show. He's the boss.
So Chris said yes? Or you didn't hear from him?
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm asking for clarification. It's me, it's not him.
Yeah. That's this building right here, but
Right at like that It's outside the circle, I think.
You're on.
Are we going?
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were waiting
We're gonna wait
for,
for Chris to see.
waiting to see.
Okay.
You want to give us just a quick presentation of
Mm-hmm.
where we are and what you're thinking for changes on the property?
Sure. My name's Craig Burgess with Sebago Technics. This is Morgan. She is with Cantita, and she, as well as her brother and sister, are the ones responsible for this great development. So right now we're standing right about here on the where the 90 degree is in the bend here. About over here is where the turnaround will be, and based upon the feedback that we heard at the last meeting, we shifted that turnaround outside the shoreline zone. Right over here where you see this gravel drive where it connects to East Shore Drive, that's going to be the approximate location of where the proposed location will be as well. And really that was to keep the site distance. As you see when you look this way, the roadway bends, and then looking to the north it goes uphill, so it was really the most ideal spot for site distance. This building right here will be renovated and repurposed for the administration building to serve Camp Kita. This building right here will also be kept, and that will be the art center. And then there's a third building that will also be renovated as part of this project, which is located just up the hill over here. And that is going to be the nature center. This area that you're looking at right up here, this is the existing grass parking area that we discussed at the last board meeting. This area will generally be maintained and used for like staff overflow parking. But the turnaround, this loop turnaround area here will involve the removal of some of these trees that we're looking at. So the turnaround will mainly take place in this area here. The project will involve storm drainage improvements, and a bulk of that will happen right here. So there's a series of catch basins and storm drain pipes so that the runoff just doesn't flow over the paved area, and you can see here that the runoff just flows right across. Well, ideally we don't want that flow to just go right over the paved area, so it will be picked up in catch basins, storm drains, and ultimately it's going to be discharged to a detention pond, which will be located just up over here. So we tried to situate the detention pond between a trail that you'll see along the Loon Pond and a trail over here. So the detention pond that will detain the runoff and also provide some level of cooling before it's ultimately discharged back into the Loon Pond. So
Yeah,
where
is that gonna be?
yeah, we might as well go the opposite direction. This is the well house. Wait, no, that's the well house right there. So that's the primary well that will continue to serve Camp Keto. There was a lot of information that was submitted as part of the application to show how that well will be sufficient to be able to support the anticipated flows.
Have the pipes been flushed with antibacterial stuff?
Not yet. That will all happen as part of the project. Yep. And all new pipes put in. So you can see some of the existing erosion here. And the intent is that the project will ultimately try to correct some of this by, instead of allowing all this runoff to channelize through this area, it will be better controlled. So you can see you can see some of this wash out here. So the detention pond will be located approximately 100 feet from this well. Per state standards, they want you to try to keep some type of horizontal separation between the well and the detention pond. So we actually have to pipe the runoff about to this area right here. So the detention pond will be sitting right up in here.
So how many people are you checking out? All of them?
Yeah, probably even. We'll try to minimize tree disturbance, obviously, to the greatest extent, but and when the contractor gets out here to build this pond, we can work with the contractor to, if we have to slightly change the shape so that we can save a tree. That would be the intent, but it would be nestled kind of like within those trees there, where some of that lower lying brushes and the smaller saplings.
But is it possible to apply for a variance for this setback in the well so you wouldn't have to disturb these trees? Like this area here is about the same level. And it might even be a little bit further away from the well.
I can take a look at that.
I know wells can be reduced to trees.
Yeah, I can certainly take a look at that. So we'll just walk up this way, and this trail kind of loops back around to everything. And what you'll see is, as we walk down this trail, there's an existing amphitheater area. So Peter will save that amphitheater area, and that's where the bigger dining hall and community center will be located. So other than the group of trees here, and some of the trees that I discussed at the meeting to be removed along the trail to keep that 14-foot width so they can bring up those prefabricated buildings. That's really the only tree clearing. Of course, there will be also some as part of the dining hall and community room area, and some tree clearing along the bunkhouses and the staff cabins, but nothing substantial by any means. Really just kind of removing some trees to try to make room for some of the structures.
All the buffer on the left remains
Yep,
untouched?
this all remains intact.
Pretty well done.
This entire buffer remains completely preserved.
The Johns are coming out, right?
Yeah.
The existing ones?
Yeah. So three
Septic.
disposal systems.
Yeah.
So this is the outdoor Well, this is the amphitheater area, right?
Yeah.
So the dining hall and community building will be located just up here. So some of these trees immediately behind the amphitheater can be preserved, but if we walk back here, you'll see that there's already somewhat of a clearing. So that's the approximate location of the community building and dining hall. Some of the trees, these three larger trees, some of these trees will be removed for the construction of that dining hall. But the intent is to kind of keep what you're looking at here in place. So yeah, these trees will be. So this is approximately from about here back is where it's going to sit. The dining hall and this building will have a big outdoor deck that will look down over the amphitheater.
Full foundation?
Yep. That's a fully designed building by Oak Point. I'm not sure if they're doing a walkout.
No.
What's the particular?
I know it does. I think it sits about, because we set the finished floor up about 18 inches. So the top of the deck's gonna sit at about 5-6 feet higher. So the design for that building was submitted as part of the application. You'll find that as part of the plan set. But that is really the only really designed building with a full architecture. That the other buildings are prefabricated and they'll be hauled to the site and brought up to the trails.
Put on a slab.
Yeah.
There's a couple that are on.
Posts, yeah, piers support. So if we walk back down this way, right now we're about here. If we walk back along that trail, we'll find where the two program cabins will be located, and then we can kind of come up through the recreational spaces, and then ultimately this area.
I don't know if you know, but in the past, the elementary school had a camp here every year.
Oh, really?
And the entire town volunteered. They had orienteering, they had a maple sugaring. Oh, cool. I mean, they had everybody did what they did, but their vocation was what they were doing. They gave it a gift, 6th grade class. They all slept out here.
Oh, that's
They did it for a week.
I've heard about that because I'm in high school. He was telling me, what's something on here?
That's where this Boy Scouts went.
Morgan, this will be the primary pizza area. Or not Morgan, but this side. We're not doing much about
Raking there, picking up maybe at time, like raking the weeds and a lot of those. Making it a nice
You've got
swimming
a life
spot
bag
where,
change.
add like a dock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put that loose.
Should be fun.
I forgot to mention when we're up there, but we'll be able to also see it when we wrap around, is between the community building and the program cabins. This is where the larger disposal system will be located. The soils here are really ideal for disposal systems. As you can see, it's really sandy. The groundwater was like deeper than 10 feet, which is ideal for a system like that. So this system is actually being driven down deeper so that we don't have to mound up.
What's
that
your
what that is
plan
over
by
there?
way of boating or canoes, water recreation?
Canoes, kayaks. In the past, the places that we've rented, we've had like a pontoon boat available, but I don't think that's not in our immediate plan. lines just because they're more expensive. But yeah, maybe a couple paddle boards, kayaks. There's
Keep
also
in mind
a sailboat
too.
right here too.
Keep in mind that this camp will only be in operation at the onset for only like 2 to 3 weeks, and that may be expanded in the future. But at the initial plan is really just to operate for 2 to 3 weeks at the beginning, and so it's not like an entire summer thing where there's people out on kayaks and canoes. It's really limited during the summer months.
Yeah, my only concern is if there were a large increase in volume of boats, and particularly high-speed boats or sea-doos and that kind of thing.
Yeah, not with this
Canoes
project.
and all that,
Yeah.
you know.
What do we have, an existing well over here?
Yeah.
Well, Lewis.
Dug well?
That'd be a dug well. That would be completely. That would be abandoned as part of this project.
Yeah.
It was probably noted on the survey. I probably just need to add a note on our plans that
Yeah.
I'll see.
Yeah, it's got the little orange ribbon on it, so somebody noted it.
Yeah.
I'll look
So
into.
where's the septic going to go in relation to the? It's going to be entirely within the shoreline zone here.
No.
It's partially within the
Yep.
shoreline zone. So about half of it in, half of it out.
Yeah.
So you can see that with these dashed lines right
Yeah,
here on the
I
plan.
just don't see the septic on the. Is that these two squares right
Yeah,
here?
the two squares.
Are the
Yeah.
septic?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh huh.
Probably on the
And
line.
one up here, right?
I wouldn't put it in the hole.
Yes.
And there's a third one there.
Yeah, we can pass those two locations.
There's three.
Right. I see the third one. Yeah. I see all three of them.
How many acres?
Oh, I don't have that with me right now.
Okay.
I'll have to
Just
look at
curious.
the material.
High school. I went to Steven. I'm not sure if this happens.
City, you'll have to help me. Does this path? Where's the best area here? Right there. Over here, right?
Sorry, I can't hear you very well.
What's this path? Where's this path?
Oh, this
Right-
path.
You go-
Yeah, we're
go
just
on
we're a
here.
little shy of it right
Okay.
here. Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
So we at where those other two cabins are yet?
Coming up. So we're just making this turn here.
Okay, we haven't.
So they're located right up over here.
So, I want to ask if I understood this correctly. Are you suggesting
This is a retreat for nuns.
Oh, okay.
As part of the septic design, we did check on where their well is located to make sure that the septic system is located at least 100 feet away. So these new program cabins will be located right up over here.
Okay.
So they'll be situated in this area.
It's a little archery area. And it's far enough away from the property line, the setback?
Yeah, do you recall what the setbacks are? I don't have that information right here.
What is it, 25 feet from the property?
Yes.
Yeah.
Non-conforming lot.
Yeah, so that's the.
I'm sure it is
It's
20.
on this plan.
Yeah.
At the recreation area.
So the group
Another
therapy.
another one of these buildings, that's what I'm showing you.
Just turn it upside down. That's what I have to do.
No, I get the lighting one
So we want to go up this way. This one leads right up to the next recreational space.
Also, like, usually we do like not all so like there'll be probably
So this is the general area of that recreational space. That tree would be removed and would kind of just be cleaned up so it creates an area for people to get together. So there would be some tree clearing just along the perimeter of that. So you can see it doesn't require a substantial amount of tree clearing to make it work.
leave the oak. A nice
Yeah,
oak.
I think that will go. That's right in the middle of it.
Yep. A couple of swings on that one.
So then going up this path, it'll get us to the next bunk cabin communal space, and we'll have our first bathhouse on the right, as well as bunk cabins 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Every couple of years. When I moved in, I
And in here will be the location of one of the other disposal systems. I thought I just saw a pink flag in there somewhere that might better show where that's going to be, but it would be right approximately in this location here. So trees would need to be moved for that. So this is the next communal area for the bunk cabins. You're looking at a bathhouse roughly in this cleared area over here, with some bunk cabins along the back here. So again, a little bit of tree clearing to make that happen. As we go over here, these are where bunk cabins 1, 2, and 3 will be located.
In the open spot? Yeah. here in the open spot, 1, 2, 3.
The 1, 2, and 3 will be set back over here. So you'll notice that we're trying to make use of the existing cleared areas to further minimize disturbance to the site.
So where are we now on the map?
We're standing right about here.
Okay. Okay.
So the bunk cabins 1, 2, 3 are just behind us.
Okay. All right.
Morgan. Oh, I'm saying Morgan. Sorry. Is your
Yeah,
intent to keep this?
yeah, we're keeping
Okay.
this. We get our kids love karaoke, that kind of thing. So that's what we're going to bring to media. Complete with our kids.
So is that part of the open space for 4, 5, and 6? Kind of this open area?
Yeah, so that's kind of. Yeah. I'll have to show that on our plan so that you have a better idea of how it fits in with the bunk cabin. I think it's tucked in just.
Okay. And the next big open area.
Yeah.
as well. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's so nice.
So this is the larger recreational area. So we're standing right up in here somewhere. The staff cabins and the medical center will be over here in this area. And then there'll be another bathhouse right over here. And then behind that bathhouse, just as the hill starts to slope down, that's where that third disposal system will be. I don't know, it's kind of see, but bad ankle sprain, and it's still actionable a little bit. It's my right ankle.
Like, not anymore.
All that's coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to keep that? I mean, things like that are in good shape will probably just be kept because that actually kind of fits in an area where yeah. Seems to be in pretty good shape.
Broke, don't fix it. It's too far gone. Get rid of it.
We're frozen. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, great people. I mean, look at all their markers. I mean, when I was in the Boy Scouts, we had something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like a land map. They teach them how to use a topographic map.
There is some
Is a marathon.
There is some tree clearing that will be required looking out this way toward where that dining hall is going to be. And the reason for that is we're trying to provide some ADA accessibility up to this area. And so we're creating an ADA path through the woods that goes directly to the dining hall area. We just thought it would be a good idea so that there's a direct path there that's ADA accessible.
Is that going to be paved or?
No, it's just gonna be very similar.
Hard
The
path.
intent is really just to keep trails as natural as possible, so it would just be gravel, like a gravel.
Can you point that out on the map, please?
So that's this trail
Yep.
right here, and it's gonna ultimately connect to this. The only paved path is this path right here, which goes from the turnaround to the
Oh,
community
you're gonna
center.
pave this whole thing too?
Yep. Yep.
All in the shoreline zone.
It's an only 5 foot wide paved walk,
So
Yeah.
my husband's in a wheelchair.
and it's really for ADA accessibility.
Oh, I'm
There's
just
a
asking about the location.
Product
really.
that we used that worked out really, really well. It lets the water drain right through the gravel. It's like a honeycomb system. It comes flat, and you spread it out, and you put the gravel in. And the little cells hold the gravel, and you can run a wheelchair on that. You can plow it with a truck. It's really stable. You might want to look into that and maybe consider that, just sharing what we did
For this right here.
for that and the paved area, because it's in the shoreland, and they're trying to minimize pavement.
Impervious.
Yeah,
you said
impervious material.
Is there a commercial name for that?
A geocell, but they sell. Many companies make it. I bought an off-market one, and it works just as well.
It's kind of the same stuff I saw out west in Colorado started doing out of parking lots.
Yeah, it's very
Instead of
popular.
paving, they were doing something, because in Nevada especially, it rains all the time, but it never gets to the ground.
Right.
Yeah,
Run
so
for a
they
dog.
were looking at doing that instead of having so much,
Well, it's tried and tested in our at our
a lot
place.
of.
Are there standards within like that? Because I know the preference is to kind of at least have a nice paved path to this area. We tried to minimize the amount of pavement within the shoreline zone, but I think the preference would be to pave it. We could certainly try to use that type of surface here, but if we could pave it, we would probably prefer that, just for maintenance and all that. But we can talk about that more if you'd like. But we really did try to minimize the amount of asphalt on the site and we tried to minimize the amount of tree clearing and new hard surface added. But if the board is strongly against pavement, that's a discussion to be had, I guess. And
It's not the board that would be against it. It's just part of the code.
yeah. Okay.
Now we're heading toward where the staff cabins are going to be.
So staff cabin will be located over here, I believe.
Oh, black trumpets.
And then I think we're
Yeah.
What is it?
oh have
Black trumpets. It's like a delectable
Oh.
mushroom.
Oh, nice.
Take for the rest.
Oh, really?
Go back here.
I'm not very adventurous, but I will.
yeah.
Go up here.
Are you sure you wouldn't mind this stuff? You can have this stuff. It's my
They're
gift to
all
you.
over
We have a guy he's a clinical nurse, but he's also
Yeah, that building, you can kind of see it right through the woods right over here. So the staff,
Could be out
I
beyond.
think that there's another path. If not, I think they work back over there.
Well, they're everywhere.
Yeah, they are everywhere.
Wherever there's
Yeah.
trees, there's mushrooms.
Oh yeah. Here.
I kind of like a side.
Yeah, see, we're just
side
getting
thing.
this kind of now. It goes off towards 109 here. I think that's it.
So one staff cabin in here. So yeah, we point out so the path that we're at.
I think we're about here now, so we still got to go a little bit, and then they'll be on our left.
That's yeah, this area.
Right. So these are beyond that building, right?
Yeah, let's go take a look at it. Oh, so this path probably. I guess probably the next path. Yeah, you're right. So they'd be tucked right up over in here. Thank you.
Doesn't take too long. Yeah.
That's this building here.
Staff,
right?
yeah, this will be the nature center.
So like,
Staff cabins, the 3 will be tucked up along this trail here.
Okay.
one of mine's over there, but the other road will come in towards the line. Yeah, the building. I know, that's what I'm saying, that whole, this whole thing right here. Well, and so is this one. Because what is the size of that? All of a sudden, it's that little opening of that,
Yeah. I was going to ask him about this.
Well, we can.
That looks
meeting.
cleared out. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, we need a map that shows
Yeah, but
existing conditions to compare.
So, just for clarification, the cabins up here,
Yeah.
all this area here would be cleared out to make this recreation area? I know on the map it shows cleared, but
Well, there's a section of it that's cleared when you go down in there.
okay.
Yeah. Like that was.
So
this
yeah,
is like the
so
old
it's
logging
so
road
this-
right here, and then
Okay.
there's like really low bush. Like.
Yeah.
this-
So that bigger area we're at, that was the this communal space, and the recreational space.
Well, let's
We can
back
go up.
down.
We can go up over
Back
here
down
and
that
take.
way. That's okay. I think, yeah, when we walk by it, we're probably looking at that area down there.
Well,
Yeah.
we can go up there.
We're way up.
We're almost done with the
We're
loop.
way up here right now.
I think we've kind of.
Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah. One Virginia. Yeah. Would be good to get an idea of how many schools we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like the 5 here, 5 there kind of adds up.
So yeah, it would be in this area right here.
Yeah, I mean, look at the scale.
The communal areas have to be completely cleared.
I think we, as much as everyone's, I would love the cleared space for people to play frisbee. And
Because you do have room in there, like those 2 big pines. You got nice oaks here and there, but I mean, once you took those pines out from the big area, but in my opinion, I just like the hardwoods take forever to grow, pines and go.
Isn't the issue of tree cutting covered in the ordinance? And so is what they're asking outside of that?
Right now, we're outside the shoreline zone, so we don't do any, we don't really regulate, it's all like
Yeah.
a negotiation.
Yeah, but
No,
I mean, I
it's
just have
only-
to say, as someone not on the board or whatever, it kind of feels like micromanagement to me. That this is a good thing for the community. Yes, it's like you have to break eggs to make an omelet. There may be some trees that have to come down. They can be, new ones can be planted. It's also not the same as being in a place where that's the one maple tree. You're in the woods, for God's sake. I don't know. Just saying.
It's not, like you said, it's not a regulation or something you can regulate. It's just, I
Right.
do.
Well,
But-
rest assured, we love this place. We love the outdoors. That's what the whole thing is about. And I'm a tree hugger too. I mean, but I also want a place where they can run around and not, and do activities that do require open space. We don't really have many open pockets that we're not already utilizing for a building. Sometimes we're really trying to lean into that, like existing, infrastructure or land as much as we can.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Whatever you're going to use it for, you're going to use it for. I'm just,
Yeah.
Well,
No.
also
Just
given
ask the
some of
question. It's not micromanagement, Bernie. I just asked the question. If they had in the thing, did all the trees have to come down? It's just a question.
I wasn't actually referring to you.
Well, that was the subject,
it's-
though.
yeah.
If we could save a tree,
Yeah.
that was the reason for the question. But
Move the well and go close, whatever. That's just my opinion too. But I think too, given some of the alternatives for what could have come here, you might kind of factor that in.
well,
That's all.
like I said, we're just concerned with the ordinances and stuff like that, the shoreline zone, things like that we regulate. Things like this we don't. So it's up to you. I'm sorry. Depends on your use. Whatever you're going to use it for. It's not a thing. It's just me suggesting that save what you can, but you would anyway. You're
Beautiful parcel of land. For sure.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
let's move
I
down.
have,
It's
I have
quarter
no,
of, so we
no
should head
problem
back.
with that because I get that feeling you probably would anyway. You're not going
yeah.
to do anything here that. Really right about hunting the options that were coming in here for people looking at this place.
And if you had some of those, if you had a good developer come in with the pocket, more would happen. Some of these big, like the huge pines,
We don't do good clean walk in the winter time. We have to do all the changes to the zoning ordinance. And we do the workshops. It ends up being more than 14 months. And the town's getting busy too.
That's why we care about the town and that's why
yeah, I don't think it's going to take much to
That kind of completes the site walk.
Thank you very much.
If you'd like to see, I can show you that. I think we have 10 minutes or so. I can show you that wetland, the one wetland on site. Which is
We're gonna have time. It's
Okay.
not really in your.
Yeah,
It's not close to the development,
Yeah.
really. So
no, it's up by 109.
yeah,
okay.
we're short on time. But.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, that concludes the meeting?
That concludes the
Oh.
site walk.
Okay.
Thank you.